Hello, stream. Hello, hello. Skitty, Zane, Arch, Lunar, Ellipti, Duality. How we all doing today? Hope we're doing absolutely lovely. At least I am. I know I am. Ready to read some fanfiction. Ready to see what the fuck is going on with Rose. Oh, Zane, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Shreezas! Oh my goodness, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. 5 months, my god. Gonna go into con crunch mode. Hell yeah. Was pester questing with my non-Homestuck friends last night. I hope that went well. I feel like it would be weird to watch pester quest knowing absolutely nothing about Homestuck. Which I think maybe... I know a couple of my friends have, or at least watched my playthrough a little bit. They were thirsting over Ultimate Dirk. Who doesn't thirst over Ultimate Dirk? They know loosely about the lore, etc. Okay. I shall sit, lurk, and work on cultures. Ooh, fun. For still, oh my god, I'm gonna forget the name. Oh my god. The fucking... Oh, hold on. Don't tell me. The fucking... It's... Oh, don't tell me. I'm totally not looking it up right now. Totally not. Ignore the typing. It's like so vivid in my mind, the name, and it's not hitting. Fuck. Wait for it. Kinites, that's what it was. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. I knew it started with a K, and I knew it had ITES at the end, and I just didn't fucking know the middle. But hell yeah. I've been rewatching Shadow and Bone, praying that Netflix will renew it, but I have low hopes. Do you have low hopes? How come? I started watching it. Well, I kind of started watching it. My friends were doing a little watch party, and I was kind of not really focusing. I had a lot of schoolwork and stuff to get done, so I was kind of multitasking. I had to stream it for them because my Discord is the only one in our little group who can like share screen like really well. And so I had it share screen, but I was kind of focusing on other things. But I hope the new season's good. Though I've heard it was like pretty popular, so I'd be surprised if they wouldn't renew it. I heard that they're doing a I might be wrong, but I heard they're doing a spin-off with just the Six of Crows guys, the gang. If it doesn't get enough hours, it's not going to get renewed. Netflix does not like YA fantasy shows, and the shows aren't cheap. That's fair, actually, yeah. I'm surprised that they don't do more. Netflix cancels so many animated shows. Animated shows are so much cheaper than live action. And animation does well. Like, I would fucking kill for an animated Six of Crows spinoff. Oh my god. I was thinking before I resumed lurking, I was stalling for time when I messaged you a few weeks ago, so sorry about that. No worries. Listen, I'm not like a crazy... My DMs are open. People, anybody can fucking message me. I don't mind. I'm not a celebrity, right? I'm a guy. Also, no worries, Arch. I will see you later. Have a nice rest of your night or day. Oh, not so fun fact, I had a dentist appointment earlier and my mouth is all numb. Oh my god. Fun fact, this time around on Chris's stream, I have some soup. It's very nice soup. Well, I'm glad that it's nice soup. When I was younger in high school? I think it was high school. I had to get all of my wisdom teeth removed all at once. And I very vividly remember. Oh my god, what movie was it? Fuck. What movie was it? Does anybody remember? Oh, it came out so long ago. It was like a movie with. It was like this guy and this girl, and they were in space, and there was like a spaceship they were on, and they were like fleeing something, and they were all alone. Or no. Okay, and everybody was asleep in the spaceships, right? Everybody was asleep, but a guy woke up. And he woke up, he wasn't supposed to wake up, and everybody else was asleep. And he got so, like, lonely, right? And he was, like, so, like freaked out that he ended up waking up another girl. And the girl, and he didn't tell the girl that, like, it was an accident. Like, he made it, like, pretend that it was an accident. And then they fall in love, and then she realizes that he doomed her to this fate, and then she gets really angry, but then I think that it still turns out all right in the end. Do you know, Shreezus, you know the one that I don't remember the name. I always want to say Interstellar. It's not Interstellar at all. But it's like kind of a shitty movie. Like, it wasn't that well rated. I don't remember. But I remember being completely numb in my mouth and like laying on the couch watching that movie. It's so vivid in my head. Oh my god, what's the movie called? I don't remember who it stars. It starred, like... Did it star Ryan Reynolds? No, it didn't. It definitely didn't. No, it definitely did not. Who the fuck did it star? Hi, Willow. You know exactly who it is? Yeah. You know the one I'm talking about. Is it weird that I'm 16 my uncle is 18? I don't think so. Your uncle can be... I mean, an uncle is just a title. It's just your dad's brother. So if your grandparents had kids a lot later on in life... Also, the Owl... Oh, no. Owl House? No. Oh, Owl House. It is Owl House. I thought... I've read OW as both Overwatch and Outer Wilds recently. So it didn't register in my head. The Owl House finale is like 2.5 weeks. I'm so excited, but sad the show is ending. Yeah. I'm sad it's ending too, but I'm excited. Fuck, it's gonna bother me not knowing what that movie is. There was a really good video by this one video essayist that was like, what if we turned like removing the first 30 minutes would turn it into a horror movie and that would make it better? Who made that video essay? Because then I'd be able to find it out. Was it H Bomber Guy? No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't H Bomber Guy. Who made that video essay? Oh, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to find the movie. We were talking about a movie that I very vividly remembered when I was getting my wisdom teeth pulled. And it was a movie in space where a guy was... like a bunch of people were on a spaceship. But they were all sleeping because they had to like travel somewhere. And a guy wakes up on accident, and he ends up waking up because he gets so lonely and bored. He ends up waking up another girl, and like dooms them to Passengers. That's it. Thank you, Shreezus. Oh my god, it was Passengers. Yes, thank you. Oh my god, thank you for fucking finding it. I don't remember Passengers being that good. What's the who made that video essay? Who made that video essay? That video essay was made... Nerd Writer made that video essay. Yeah. Passengers Rearranged. I love this video. This video is really good. It's Chris Pratt. That's who it was. This video was really, really good. If you take Passengers and you rearrange it, you turn it into a horror movie. It's so much better because you turn Chris Pratt into a villain instead of making him sympathetic. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Oh my god, that was gonna haunt me. Thank you for helping me find that. Oh my goodness. All right, I am going to go ahead and do the summary for last chapter. And by summary, I mean we're just going to kind of briefly touch the very end of last chapter. Back to lurking I go. No worries. Glad to have you here, mate. We're going to briefly talk about the last chapter, and then we're going to hop right in. Today's stream is not going to be as long as yesterday's. In fact, no chapter will be as long as yesterday's was. But still a pretty decent chunk of a chapter today. So we'll hop into it in a second. So the main thing that we got from last chapter at the very end was Karkat and Rose went to the Feyland of Winter to retrieve this box that they had been seeing in their dreams. Rose didn't know what was in the box, really wanted to know what was in the box. They retrieve it, they escape Winter without getting killed, and they immediately like open the box to see what's inside, and they find like a little like leather belt with a bunch of pouches that have like tarot cards on them, and each one like reflects a different person. But more specifically, they found a box with or inside the box there was also a shawl or like a cloak in it, and as soon as Rose picked it up, we kind of got this weird moment where something happens and suddenly Karkat is alone and is talking about how he's been alone this whole time, and he texts Dave and Solux and is like, hey, I'm gonna come back now. And Dave and Solux also don't seem to acknowledge the lack of Rose being there, and we don't really know what else. We don't know what the fuck's going on, but Karkat is now heading back, flying back to the dorm. No Rose with him, assumedly. Wait, question before we start. I forgot this again, Chris. What do you use to see the AO3 word count? I use something called AO3 enhancements. It's an extension on Google Chrome, I believe. It has all sorts of stuff. Here it is. Oh my god, flashbang. Sorry, AO3 enhancements. It probably is also in Firefox, I would assume. Maybe if you use Firefox, but I use it on Chrome. But it tells me word count. It can also tell you like other things. I just hide most other things. I just like the word count for each chapter. So, because the default is that you have the word count for the whole series, but I like the word count per chapter. All right. I think music levels are fine. Oh, hi, Crenshaw. All right, here we go. Chapter 29. When I'm gone. All right. Let me do a little sip of water, and then we will get started. All right, here we go. You shamble into your dorm exhausted, sweaty, and kind of sore. Sure, you've flown further before. Coming from the moon to Earth was a longer distance, but you could go at max speed, and gravity helped. This is kind of sustained effort is just far too hard. You kick your door down, you kick your door shut behind you, drop your bag on the floor, and magic your clothes away as you stumble to the bathroom. You know, you said you were going to see Dave when you got back, but you're not going anywhere in this state. A solid 10 minutes of hot water hitting your back passes before you manage to move yourself enough to grab shower gel and all of that. There are honest-to-God bugs in your hair. Flying is lame, and you want another magic power instead. Thanks. Teleportation seems cool. Why can't you do that? There's no way you can stay in the shower forever, though, so you reluctantly stumble out, dry off, and dress. You shoot Dave a message telling him that you're in your dorm and your back has died. You have died, and your corpse can be found in your room if he wants to say his final goodbyes to you. With that done, you go fall face down on your bed for a while. It takes Dave about 5 minutes to get to your room. He knocks on the doorframe and peers around at you. You good? He asks. I'm dead, you inform him, face half smothered with a pillow. Rip in pieces, dude. How come you died? Dave asks. He reaches out to touch your back, and you jolt when he does, your muscles tensing up. Ow! Oh, that flying hurts, you whine. Dave pauses for a moment, but instead of taking his hand away, he presses a little harder, and you feel it go from actually painful to amazingly good. You think he gets the message from the very pleased noise you make. I could have just paid for you to port back, you know. Mom's got the cash, Dave points out, and kneads between your shoulder blades with one hand. Got left a little. You shouldn't have to do that. It's her money, you groan. Dave pauses, his hand stilling. Dave, you whine. He starts again, following your spine and all the sore muscles that your wings connect to. You flew there, right? Dave asks. You think I have teleport to England kind of money? I work a part-time job at a library. I guess flying there was fine, but flying back the day after was pushing it, you admit. A little dumb on your part for sure. I'd say next time let me pay for you to get places, but I'd prefer that you weren't globetrotting and using my genius coke bomb ideas to piss off Faye. He laughs. I banned you from being smug about that. You protest. I appeal to a moderator. The moderator with Solux. Get your wings out. Dave tells you. Geez, at least let me buy at least buy me a drink first. You tease him. But seeing as you think there might be wing pettings in your future, you comply. You're sure as shit not going to put up any resistance. You flex your wings out, draping one onto the floor, and one folded across the side of your bed that's against the wall. Dave shuffles down so he's able to get to your feathers, and he starts gently stroking through them at the part of your wings close to your back. He slides his fingers down through them and strokes along the feathers to lay them out smooth, and then with his next pass, he gets down to your skin. You're already in a Karkat puddle just from the feather stroking, and that's before he starts trying to carefully massage the skin underneath. You gonna tell me what happened then? Dave asks as he methodically moves along your wing. Found the place, checked into a room at a hostel, got directions in the morning from a guy who sold me coke that I later blew up. You mumble. I will high-five you for that later. Keep going. Dave adds and scritches your fingers in a glorious way that makes you not despair at him. That was nice. I walked to the place, saw Kelpie, kept going, crossed a frozen solid river, and winter was on the other side. Got there, found where the box was buried, dug it up, and the Fae showed up super mad. You sigh and nuzzle your face into the pillow. Then the coke bomb. Dave fills in for you. Flew off and then popped out the other side in a graveyard that wasn't actually too spooky considering. Checked out the box, messaged you two, and came back to the dorm. You finish up. Turn the other way. Let me do the other wing. What was in the box? Dave asks. You fluff and unfluff your feathers. Your right wing that Dave has been working on feels glorious. You tuck it back in close and stand up. Hey, where are you going? Dave calls as you leave the room. I'm coming back. Chill. You tell him, careful not to shout. You can shout all you like in your dorm room alone, but when you have guests, you need to be quiet. You snag your bag from the ground by the door and head back. When you get back into the room, you reach into your bag and pull the box out. You drop it onto the bed, and Dave leans in to have a look. Whoa, that looks fancy as shit, and not at all like you just ripped it out of the dirt and onto your nice clean bed sheets, Dave remarks and picks it up. Oh, great. Well, as Dave picks it up, you can't see that there's mud on your bed or anything, so you'll take it. You perch on the edge of your bed with your wings draping down to the ground as Dave inspects the box. This is definitely magical, but I don't know what it says, he says. Check out what was inside, you say, and get your fingers in the seam and flip the box open. Inside is your belt with its little pouches of holding on them. Oh, they've all got things on them, he says. Yeah, tarot cards. The one with my card, the Knight of Cups, just had a note in it saying, basically, I just have to know what the picture means and get the stuff inside, you explain to him. And the others? Dave asks, turning the belt around in his hands. Well, some of them I know. That's you. That's Solux. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the death card is a Radia, and maybe that one is more metaphorical. Not sure about the others, though. Or maybe that one is more metaphorical, you say as you point them out. Dave opens his one and sticks his hand inside, but when he takes it out, there's nothing in his hand. Curiously, you try, thinking of Dave, but you can't pull anything out either. I think it might be pretty specific about how I can use it. I don't know who made this or who the note was from either, but maybe it needs to be the right thought or the right moment. I don't know. You shrug. That's pretty goddamn weird, Karkat, but I guess you have it in the fancy box it came in now, so whatever. Now give me that wing. Dave flashes you a grin and reaches for your unpreened wing. The speed at which you throw yourself down and offer your wing should be embarrassing, but you'll forego shame when everything feels nice. Partway through your wing, Dave gets a message on his phone, and your phone charm chimes too. Not that you move to look at it. Seemingly, June is offering to host a little movie get-together, but you're really tired and you actually do have work later. Given that Dave has been all over your wings, you're melted and exhausted, hardly in a state to go. Dave goes by himself, leaving you with a shy kind of kiss to your temple. You set yourself an alarm and have a much-needed nap. Your alarm was set to go off a half an hour before work, but you wake up a whole hour before your shift starts. You put your wings away and revel in how much better you feel, then decide that you should make a drink to wake yourself up a little. Coffee will screw with your sleep schedule, but tea should be good. You go to the kitchen area of your dorm and set water on to boil as you pick out a tea and a mug to drink from. Some of these mugs you brought with you when you moved here, but a lot of them were just left over from the previous people who lived in the dorm. Your fingers drift to the skull mug and you pick that one up. It's quiet in your dorm. Obviously, the silencing spell is the reason, but you're here all by yourself. They couldn't have just put you with anyone else, of course. That wouldn't be fair, and you could hurt someone. People are probably jealous that you don't have to share, but honestly, you came here partly because you were so lonely in Georgia. Obviously, here is better. You have classes and friends, but the loneliness is still there in your chest. You look at your cupboard of mugs left from whoever lived here before, and you wish you could have that. Not their mugs. You do have those. No, you wish you got someone to live with. Fuck, you had a nice time with Dave, and now you're all melancholy for no good reason. Whatever, screw it. Forget the tea, you're just gonna go to work early. When you get to Kanaya, she isn't in her office, which doesn't really help your lonely woe is me pity party. God, you're so stupid for being sad about this. Now, not only do you feel shitty, but you're angry about it, and then sad at being angry at yourself. It's a horrible cycle of thoughts, but you don't have anyone to talk to about them, and now you're just feeling worse. You're a hair's breadth away from screaming or crying when Kanaya comes into the office 10 minutes later and finds you. Carcat, are you alright? She asks, and shuts the door firmly behind her, isolating any sound you make from the rest of the library. Yes, you say petulantly. Kanaya gives you a flat look. No, I don't know. It's just a bad day, I guess. I feel shitty. I flew a lot to get back here, too, and you shrug helplessly. How was your trip? Kanaya asks. Can we not talk about it? It's been a day. You sigh. If that's what you want, say, we have a whole stack of books that need rebinding. Could you do that for me? Kanaya asks. Translation, maybe don't talk to students today. Yeah, sure. You shrug. For a while, the two of you settle into work, you rebinding the books and her almost doing everything else that needs doing. After a bit, Kanaya brings you tea and makes another attempt at conversation. Go on any more dates? She asks curiously. Not with Dave, no. Solix is off being mysterious somewhere else, but apparently dates with our kind of relationship is a thing with demons, so I'll have to work that out later. You shrug and pick up your mug to blow across the top of your tea. I wonder what that would be like. I must admit that I don't know many demons. Well, he's really the only one I've exchanged more than a few words with, at least in a very long time. Kanaya mumbles that last part, but you decide not to ask. Questions that seem like you're trying to suss out her age are kind of rude. I'm curious too, but that reminds me, I need to go buy glitter before I go back to the dorm, you say, and then as a reminder, you snag a bureau and write glitter on your hand. Ugh, that's terrible stuff. Once you get it in your carpet or on your skin, it's there with you forever, as Kanaya says with a grimace. That'd be why I'm going to pour it in Solix's bed. He'll lose his shit about it, you agree. That is absolutely awful, but whatever makes you two happy? She ventures. Miss Paint chooses that moment to poke her head around the door and look at you both. Carcat, I was hoping to catch you. Are you interested in learning how to take care of the dangerous books? She asks. You perk up in your chair, surprised that she's offering to accelerate your responsibilities so fast. Absolutely, you say eagerly. Wonderful. I have a book about caring for them that I need you to read, but you also need to spend more time with the spirit of the library to get better protection against the dangerous books. So, if you like, I can let you in there for the rest of your shift. Are you all right on your own, Kanaya? I'll put the returns away and take care of the floor, but would it be okay if you stay here? Miss Paint asks. Sure, go for it. Kanaya smiles. The book Miss Paint gives you to read is quite obviously a staff manual made by her and perhaps other employees. It explains the different ways that dangerous books can cause harm. The first and most rare is possession. Obviously, the library doesn't stock books that possess people, but sometimes deliveries for professors can be possessed. The way to deal with those depends on what's possessing them, but by and large it's something you can catch afterwards in the person with regards to odd behavior, which is why the library area that houses the books is so well surveyed and enclosed. After that, you have books that read your mind. Your geometry book was one of these kinds. It read you as you read it, and enacted the things you read. As Miss Paint already taught you, the best defense against those is to be aware of the book you're reading, and being aware when you're being observed by a book. From then are the books that are just plain cursed. The last category is quite broad, including books that are physically animated or cursed. Cursed books might steal something metaphysical from you or affect your physical body. What follows are a checklist of basic spells, and checks for you to go over any new books in order to tell what's going on with it. Naturally, these spells are beyond anything you've been taught so far, but you know enough to be able to work out what you're looking at and slowly parse the instructions. Excuse me. You quietly read the spells over and try to memorize them. A little later, in the book/manual, there's examples of a few books in the library and what categories they fall into and why, what tests they show up on and why that is. It's actually really fascinating, and you're buried in the text when Miss Pink comes to tell you that your shift is over, and you can probably, and should probably, go now. You wave to Kanaya as you leave, but she's too busy helping another student to say goodbye. It's fine. You get to take the manual back to your dorm and read it there. But first, you need to stop by the craft store. You hunt down the aisles until you find the craft glitter. There's a whole lot of different kinds and colors, including metallic confetti shapes. For a moment, you consider buying red because it's kind of your color, but Solix likes red. In the end, you settle for green and orange, given that they're opposites to red and blue. There's also some shapes that look phallic to you, and you assume they're meant to be arrows, given that in there with hearts. You assume that it's a Valentine's thing here a little early, and they're definitely meant to be arrows. But they definitely look like dicks. Probably not best to. For a start, they don't quite match the color scheme you're going for, and you want this to be sort of more of a fuck you rather than, hey, fuck me, maybe. You leave the dubiously shaped glitter be and just take your original selection. You might take that next time, though, for reasons. You return back to your dorm building, but instead of going to your dorm, you go all the way up to Dave's floor and knock on his door. A moment later, Dave opens the door and you see that Jade and June are in there as well. Oh, hey, you're off work. We were gonna watch a movie. Well, it just started, but you wanna join? Dave asks. Sure, definitely. I just need to go do something first. Don't mind me. You nod and go over to the sofa. What are you doing? I sense mischief. June grins as you take your shoes off. I don't know what you're talking about. You grunt as you climb up onto the arm in the back of the sofa and balance. You reach into your bag and pull out a big thing of green glitter and carefully unscrew the cap. Oh my, are you gonna put that in there? June gasps in glee, pointing to Solix's stupid ferret hammock. I'm not doing anything, you insist as you reach your arm into said hammock and upend the glitter in it. That's never coming out, Jade snorts. Oh, cool. Everything I own will be full of glitter. Great, Dave says flatly, looking very unimpressed at you unscrewing a large bottle of orange glitter, too. Sorry, Dave. Casualty of war, civilian casualties and all that. You shrug and pour the orange in as well. I half think you should be the one rooming with June and not me. One time she covered my doorway with cling film and I walked right into it, Jade says. June cracks up a little at hearing her own prank again. Okay, I'm done. I heard there was a movie, you say, and hop off the sofa and onto the floor. The next day you have classes, and you get about 10 minutes in the office with Kanaya before Solix appears. You've barely talked to her. You've made you, Kanaya, and Miss Payne drinks, and just sat down to check out emails sent to the library when he shows up in a puff of smoke. There's glitter stuck to the whole right side of his face, all over his shirt, and up his arms, and he's visibly seething. You casually pick up your tea and sip it, looking at him over the top. The feeling of having outmaneuvering him is just, sinful, you guess. Hi, you say cheerily. Solix leans over your desk, puts his hand on top of your mug, and presses it down onto the desk, all while staring you dead in the eye. You feel the flare of magic in the air, and then without a word, he vanishes. You look down at your drink and stare at it. Did he do something to it? Kanaya asks. You squint at the liquid. It looks more or less the same, but you're suddenly filled with doubt. Hesitantly, you sniff it, but again, you're not sure if anything's different. I don't know, you say. Probably best to throw it away, she advises you. I can't do that. Then he'd be winning, you say with a shake of your head. But you can't drink it when you don't know what it is, Kanaya says reasonably. No, he'd win if I did that too, you admit. Solix wouldn't do anything that'd cause you real harm, but replacing the water in your drink for something with the same chemical composition as spit might be possible. Or maybe he did nothing and he's just messing with your head. Well, what are you going to do then? I really don't get the rules of this thing, Kanaya asks, clearly despairing. Pretty sure I have to figure out a way to trick him into drinking whatever this is, you conclude. It's the only answer you can think of. This is absurd. Also, there's glitter on the floor now, she points out. You lean over your desk, and sure enough, there is. Damn it, I'll get the broom, you grumble. Carcat, I wanted to ask you about... Have I done something wrong? Kanaya asks as you're rummaging around in the cupboard for the broom. Sorry, I didn't catch that. What's wrong? You ask, pulling the broom free. I think I might have upset her or something. I think she might have blocked me on Trollian, Kanaya explains and gestures to her computer. You frown and head over to her. Her Trollian looks fine to you. I don't think so. Your contacts look fine to me. Look, I'll block you now and you can see. You offer and pull your phone out. You block her and show her how your icon changes for her and then unblock her. But it's as if Rose's account doesn't exist anymore, Kanaya says over you sweeping the floor. You're about to tell her that you didn't hear all of that when a guy knocks on the door of the office. You turn around and look at him and see that he's got writing all over his forehead. That's not us, you tell him. Nah, I know, man. Have you got, like, books on removing hexes yourself? I got a lady doctor on campus to do it, but she obviously doesn't know what she's doing. And stuff like this keeps coming back. So whatever my ex did to me, that Doc didn't remove. Bitches, right? The guy snorts. Kanaya turns around in her chair and looks at this guy who looks 100% like a douchebag. She looks him up and down and then gives you a look that suggests that you'd better deal with this guy or she might snap him in half. Right. How did you get the hex in the first place? You ask slowly. Oh, well, crazy ex. I mean, we weren't really dating, we were just kind of screwing around, and she got mad that I was seeing her roommate too, or whatever, so she hexed me. Turned my dick green. Not cool. So I went to this lady doctor, he starts. I think they just call them doctors, you point out. Well, she obviously didn't do the job. It went away, but then it changed into something else a few weeks later. The guy scoffs. Were you seeing anyone else around that time? You ask. Her sister and some other girl, the guy says with a shrug. Wait, whose sister? The original girl's sister or the roommates? You ask. Nah, the doctor's, the guy answers. You think Kanaya's entire face twitches with tension. So, you pissed off several witches, including one trained in the Medi magical arts. Is that about right? You ask, and the guy shrugs. You're amazed he's still human and not a frog or something. You know how it is, he says, and you realize that he has the word cheater inked into his face over and over again. For a moment, you contemplate telling him that you don't know how it is because all the women you know are great, and you'd know better than to cross them anyway. Also, you're currently dating two people with everyone being cool about that and said people are both male, but probably best not to. I'll see if I can find you something. Come with me. You sigh. You take him to the right area of the library and work out what languages he's best in and give him a book or two on hexes, the casting and removal thereof. You also, on your way back to the checkout desk, manage to snag the most basic introduction to feminism book into his stack and check that out with the rest of his stuff. You doubt he'll read it, but you live in dumb hope. Plus, if he doesn't return that on time, he'll have another hex to worry about. Also, if he damages it or destroys it, he can talk to Kanaya and Miss Paint about that, and that ought to scare the shit out of him better than anything else. When you return to your desk, Kanaya gives you this amazed look, and the both of you sit in silent shock at how stupid someone can be just walking around. You've often thought that people like that need a label on them so you can know about them in advance, but it looks like his exes have that pretty well covered. You should ask Solux about that saying about hell having no fury like a woman scorned. There's probably some quite literal truth in that. If that douchebag makes it to the end of the academic year without being way more seriously hexed, I will be stunned, you say in shock as you lean against the door to the office. Quite. People like that enrage me, Kanaya grumbles, not looking up from her computer. You spot the traces of glitter still on the floor, so you go back to sweeping it up with your broom and dustpan. Anyway, like I was saying before, Carcat, have I somehow upset Rose? Kanaya asks. Upset who? I didn't catch all that, you say as you pick the broom up and return it to the cupboard. Rose, your roommate? Kanaya says slowly. My roommate? You ask in confusion. Yes, Kanaya is staring you now like you're especially dim-witted today. I don't have a roommate, unless you are making a dig about the fact that I've been sleeping with Dave again lately, you say, and toss the glitter in the pan in the trash, and then go to put the dustpan away too. What are you... No, I'm not getting into that innuendo now. What do you mean that you don't have a roommate? She asks. What do you mean by what do you mean? You know how you can have a roommate. Not that is the situation I'm in, you tell her. You have a roommate. You live with Rose, Kanaya insists. No? Is this a joke or a reference I'm not getting? Shit, you're way older than me. I shouldn't be the one out of the loop. Actually, are you older than me? I don't know. Apparently I was around during the World Wars, where you start to ask. I'm older than that, Carcat. I'm not joking. Are you serious? You don't remember her? Kanaya asks. Her unwavering stare is pinning you in place as her green eyes bore into you. There's a part of you that can't help but wonder about those myths about the danger of vampires' gaze. I really have no idea what you're talking about, you tell her honestly. Right, okay. Never mind. Could I come by your dorm and borrow that movie you were telling me about recently? Kanaya asks, suddenly switching tracks. Looper? Sure, you tell her, utterly lost in this conversation. Good, great, thanks. Can you take the returns back? Kanaya says slowly, and then watches you as you wheel the cart out of the office. When the shift ends, or when the end of your shift rolls around, Kanaya follows you back to your dorm. She seems weirdly tense, and the conversation between the two of you is stiff. You unlock your door and invite her inside, being careful to be explicit in your wording so she can actually follow you. Thankfully, she's able, so you can't have fucked it up that badly. Oh, Carcat, I didn't know you knitted, Kanaya says, gesturing to the sofa. Oh, that, I don't. It was just there when I moved in. You shrug, and kneel down by the TV to get that DVD. That seems unusual, don't you think? Kanaya says pointedly. I don't know, people move, or whatever. You shrug as you flick through them. And this room through here, this bedroom, Kanaya asks, opening the shut door in your dorm. The shut door in your dorm. That's the other room, yeah? You agree. Wait, what were you doing? You sit up and look around, your eyes landing on your coffee mug from that morning on the table. Better clean up. You start puttering around your dorm, collecting glasses and things that need to be washed and taking them to the sink. Carcat! Kanaya shouts suddenly, making you toss a glass into the sink where it chips a huge chunk out of it. Holy shit, Kanaya, you snuck up on me, you exclaim in alarm. When did she even get here? How can she even get in here? I didn't sneak up on you. I was saying the name of your roommate over and over and standing in her room talking to you, but you couldn't seem to hear me. Carcat, you've clearly fallen under some kind of spell. I need to get your other friends here so that we can work out what to do, she insists. But I'm not, you start to protest. Kanaya walks over to you and takes hold of your shoulders. Carcat, you trust me, right? Kanaya asks, looking down at you intently. Yes, you say uneasily. I'm telling you that something has happened to you magically to make you forget someone that you know, and when I mention this person or bring up too much evidence of her existing, you go blank on me or say you didn't hear me. There's something going on here and we need to fix it. So what I need you to do is bring the rest of your friends here. They can hopefully challenge you on what's happening and we can work out a plan, Kanaya says. You don't feel like there's anything wrong with you at all. Kanaya's the one behaving weirdly, but and then again, it's not as if things happening to you in any way, or is in any way unusual these days. So with a little hesitation, you message the rest of your friends to come down to your dorm. Jade and June arrive first, with Solux and Dave arriving later. You have glitter in your hair, you inform Solux gleefully. I hate you so much. Solux hisses at you, and you can't help but beam at his words. I'm ignoring that. I asked Carcat to bring you all here because he's forgetting something very important. I think some sort of memory spell has been cast on him, Kanaya announces. Oh shit, Carcat, what have you done now? June asks, turning around on the sofa to stare at you. I don't know, apparently I've forgotten someone, you shrug. You can't remember Rose, Kanaya says. You didn't say a name, you just said that he couldn't remember and then trailed off, Jade points out. Are you not able to tell us who he's missing? Are you cursed? Come here, Solux says, and despite his instructions, he's the one who moves closer to Kanaya and looks her over. What? No, Dave, I'm talking about your sister, Kanaya insists. I didn't know you had a sister, you say in surprise. Because I don't. I'm an only child, dude, Dave says. Are you sure you're okay, Kanaya? June asks. Wait, does this mean that I'm not the one that something has happened to? Is it Kanaya instead? You ask. I've known Dave for forever. He doesn't have a secret sister. Whatever has happened, it's not Kanaya being cursed that's the problem. It's something else, Solux confirms. I'm not cursed. It's not me. None of you remember Rose? Really? Kanaya demands. Your whole group looks at each other and shakes your head and you shake your head and shrug. It's not you at all. It's her. Don't you think it's strange that that Carcat gets a dorm all to himself, and that there's all these things here in the dorm that didn't come with it that are just here? Kanaya asks, waving her hands around the dorm. It makes more sense to let things pass on between people who live here if they don't want them than tossing them out. And some people come here from abroad and leave things behind. Besides, you've heard Carcat's voice when he gets loud, right? He's got that spell to stop everyone outside hearing it, but it'd be kind of unfair to make him live with someone like that. Or it'd be kind of unfair to make someone live like that. Live with that. June explains, gesturing to the door to your dorm. Gee, thanks, June, you mutter. Actually, he's been staying with me when Solix has been gone, and it's been fine, really, Dave says in your defense. I don't know, the volume thing happens sometimes, Solix says with a grin that's way too inappropriate for your current audience. You give him a look intended to shame him into being quiet, but Solix has a chronic lack of shame, so he is unaffected. I gotta work out where we lost her. Karkat, tell me everything that happened on your trip. Kanaya orders you. I flew there, got a train to where I needed to go. You start. You flew across the whole ocean, but then landed and took a train. Kanaya interrupts. You pause. You distinctly remember the train. You remember there being a unicorn outside at one point. You definitely got a train. Yeah? I was tired, I guess. I got a train from London to Goring and Straightly, which is where the hostel that I was checked into was. The next day I asked about Winter, found information out, went there, dug up a magic box. You continue. Make a bomb from Coca-Cola. Dave interrupts. Improvised an escape, got back to this realm of reality, had a look in the box, and then came here. You continue, ignoring Dave's interruption. What was in the box? Kanaya asks desperately. A belt with little bags of holding on it. They're activated by understanding the tarot cards printed on it. I opened mine already, but I've not tried anyone else's yet, and there's some there that I don't understand. You tell her. Show me, Kanaya tells you. You shrug. You've not really shown this thing about yet, and if you do it now, then you can get everybody's input. You go across your dorm room and pick up the little table that you have at the side and move it closer to the group. With that done, you reach into your bag and take out the box itself and set it on the table. This is definitely magical, Kanaya whispers as she peers at it. Solix is looking at the box just as intently, peering at each little detail. I'm pretty sure that this box just seals magic. It stops outside stuff interfering what's inside. Sensible if you're going to bury it in Winter of all places. It might link up to other spells, but unless I'm reading this wrong, nothing here could cause us all to forget a whole person. Also, Karkat was the only one who was there, Solix points out. So it's the magical equivalent of a fireproof safe? June asks. Yeah, pretty much, Solix shrugs. Seeing as the two of them look to be done with the outside of the box, you open it and take the belt out, although Kanaya feels around the inside of the box and stares suspiciously at it. So, the belt has all these tarot card patterns on them. I've not worked all of them out yet, but I know that the Knight of Swords is Dave, the Knight of Cups was me, but I've opened that one. Two of Swords is Solux, and Death is literally Death. You trail off a little there as Solux looks downcast at the mention of his ex. What about the others? Tell me about them, Kanaya insists. Alright, this one is the Fool. It's all about new beginnings and a free spirit kind of vibe. You explain. Not that one. Next. Kanaya prompts you. Alright, here is the, Ace of Wands. You frown. Are you drawing a blank on that one? Kanaya asks hurriedly. It's a lot of cards to memorize. Let me double check. You grumble and take your phone out. It only takes you a moment to get the right tab open, and you can check. Oh, right. Here we go. Ace of Wands is about creativity, boldness, finding your own voice, and being in a place where you can develop your own vision. Aw, hey Jade, this makes me think of you. You smile as you look up at her. Ooh, cool. I like that. Jade beams. Well, what about this one? The High Priestess? Kanaya asks. That was, You frown. You've gone completely blank on this one. It's Major Arcana. I thought I had all those memorized back to front. Come on, dumbass. It was, You frown. Look it up, Dave suggests. Dutifully, you look down at your phone and scroll for a few moments. Sorry, what was the card again? You ask, looking up at Kanaya. High Priestess, Kanaya reminds you. Oh, right. You nod and click on the card. You read the blurb of it for a few seconds and nod. Well, Kanaya asks. You look up from your phone and put it away. What is it? Kanaya asks. What was what? You say. Did she ask you a question? Alright, fine. Forget the others. I suppose that answers that. How does this bag work? How did you get something out of your one? Kanaya asks and jiggles the belt at you. I just thought of myself and what my card meant, you explain. Kanaya nods and then plunges her hand into one of those small bags. She rummages around in it for a few moments and pulls out a sheet of paper. Her eyes dart over it hurriedly and she pockets the paper quickly. You know what, Karkat? I think you're right. It makes no sense that all of you would forget someone. It's far more likely that it's me. I'm gonna go now and go and ask Miss Paint for a few days off. See if I can fix this, Kanaya says stiffly. Okay, are you alright? I'm worried about you, you tell her. No, it's fine. I need to go now, Kanaya says and quickly marches out of the room. That was really weird, June notes. You think? Dave says, dripping with sarcasm. It was a waste of my break for sure. I gotta get back to it. Solix yawns. Wait, really? But you've barely been here any time at all, Dave protests. I know, but I'll message you later, okay? Solix smiles, and then in a puff of smoke, he's gone. Why does that always smell like apples? Smoke would make sense, or fire and brimstone, but apples is just so odd, Jade wonders. I wonder that too, you agree. Why not apples, though? June counters. Yeah, everyone knows that apple is the best fruit and the best scent of anything ever. Everything should be scratch and sniff apple scented, and that'd be my one genie wish. Dave nods. That wish would go bad in like 5 minutes. Never make wishes. You snort in amusement. Since your little group is together, albeit without Solix, you may as well all do something together. Which ends up predictably being dinner and a movie and talking shit about Mindfang because she's the weirdest goddamn person that any of you know. You're only partway surprised the next time you go into work and find that Kanaya's not there. When you ask your boss, she just says that Kanaya needed a few days off for something. Without Kanaya around, that persistent loneliness starts to creep back in your mind. It's probably your fault that you're alone. You're obviously a terrible listener. Like even now, as you try to remember exactly what Kanaya told you that you'd been forgetting, you can't remember. Maybe she just wanted a break from you. My goodness, Karkat, I'm going to go feed the dangerous book since Kanaya isn't here. I have one that I've been looking after, but it got injured in a fight. Could you mind it for a while? Miss Payne asks, putting a twitching book down, one that has a ripped-up cover on it. One of the other books attacked this one? You ask in surprise. Yes, there has been a lot more activity between the books lately. Something has riled them up, but I've no idea what. Just keep an eye on that one for me, would you? Miss Paint asks. Of course I will, you nod. Miss Paint leaves you to it, and you warily eye the book on the desk. You could go and look up what kind it is, but you feel that somewhat goes against the training you've been getting. You lean down so you're eye level with it, and try to get a feel for the thing. The cover of the book, though a little mauled, reads The Inner Eye. You should see my inner eyes, you mutter, and the pages of the book rustle invitingly. Oh, no, you don't, you snort. You're not picking this thing up and reading it. For all you know, it'll tear your skin off to make a new cover for itself. You need your skin. You're using it right now. The book seems to sense that you're not going to give in to its ways, and with a battered bookmark, it reaches out across the desk towards your stack of post-it notes. Oh, you're really torn up. I could probably fix that for you. Kanaya showed me some stitches she was doing before. Do you want that? You ask as you reach for the book. The book warily flicks its satin bookmark at you, but doesn't do much more when you touch it. You take a couple steps to Kanaya's desk and pick out her little travel sewing kit. You've seen her help students out when they've torn their clothes or popped buttons in the past. There's a tiny spool of thread in every color and little needles. Eyeballing the color, you thread a needle and hold it out in the book, which shuffles ever so slightly closer. Its bookmark is torn right up the middle, but you patiently sit and start to sew, bringing the two sides of the bookmark back together. It's not the neatest sewing job in the world, but it looks pretty good and the book seems to appreciate it. As you snip the final thread and stroke the cover of the book, you feel a presence watching you. It's not the book, though. You've adjusted to that. Instead, you look up and see Miss Paint looking at you with a secret smile on her face. Maybe you could put that one back on the shelf downstairs, sweetie. I think you're probably about ready to deal with them. I'll watch you on the cameras. Don't worry. I just want to see if they'll listen to you without me there, Miss Paint says. Wait, you're serious? You think I'm ready? You ask in surprise. She nods, so you scoop up the book in your arms and head downstairs to the dangerous book storage cage. Miss Paint gives you the keys and explained which opened which. As you stand in the elevator, your stomach feels full of butterflies. It feels like how Solux and Dave make you feel sometimes, a sense of nervous anticipation and excitement. There's a sound in your arms, slow and like paper. You look down and see the book reaching for you with its repaired bookmark. Its satiny bookmark touches on your cheek and then touches you on the cheek and then slides back between its pages. You freeze for a moment, unsure about what just happened. You don't feel any different, but all the same, you're wary. You head back into the cage and carefully reshelve the book in its right place and give the books around it a warning look, not angry but firm. Be nice, you warn them and leave. You make sure to lock both doors and check the locks very carefully before returning to your boss. Miss Paint, that book kind of touched me with its bookmark. Is that something I should be concerned about? You ask her, worried that you screwed up. No, sweetheart, you're fine. That book only affects you if you read it. That was just it saying it likes you, like a happy dog licking you to say hi. Miss Payne beams at you. At least it's less slobbery than when Beck gives you excited kisses, which happens often because Beck is very excitable and cannot be stopped by any means. If he wasn't such a good boy, it might annoy you. That's good then. All right. Always happy to hear I'm not cursed, you say brightly. Anytime. Why don't you head off early? You've only got 5 minutes left, and that's not much time to start anything. I'll see you on Thursday, I believe. She checks, glancing on the schedule at the wall. Yeah, but if you need me to cover for Kanaya, you have my class schedule. I don't mind helping out, you tell her. I'll let you know. Now, shoot. Miss Paint laughs. You go back to the office and grab your things before heading out. You're doing well in your classes. You have friends, 2 boyfriends, and your progress with your books in the library is great. You should be happy. You'd say that you should be over the moon, but you're going to stay away from moon-related metaphors from now on. Scratch kind of ruined them for you. As it is, you just feel like something is missing in your life. There's a hole in your heart, and you just don't know how to fill it. That night, you settle down to sleep in your dorm, alone and in the quiet. It should be peaceful, but again, it's just kind of lonely. You could have gone and slept with Dave again, but he's eased back on the nightmares a bit with Solux being able to come back for a few minutes most days, and you're worried that he's going to think you're clingy. So, yeah, sleeping alone in your big empty dorm. Alone. Even Abraxas is asleep, so you can't even talk to it. Whatever. You're fine. You're fine. Carcat, what are you doing? Aridin hisses at you, grabbing your arm. Why don't you tell me what you think it looks like I'm doing first? You say slowly, with your halfway through the barrier that surrounds the area that Signless is trapped in. It looks like you're breaking in to go see Jesus, the thing you're specifically banned from doing, Aridin hisses and glances around. It's Signless, but that's not the point. Look, I'm not doing that. That'd be going against my orders. I just happen to be going this way for another reason. I'll be fine. You assure Aridin. You can't just keep sneaking out. If Kankri finds where you've gone, Aridin warns you. So if he asks you where I am, just make something up. You saw me earlier, but you don't know where I am now. Or I told you I was running an errand for someone, but you don't remember who. Just cover for me, you say. And if I'm made to tell the truth, then he'll catch you, and you'll be in so much trouble. He'll lock you away again, Aridin whispers and squeezes your arm. I know, but I have to go. I wouldn't go down there if it wasn't important, you insist. And what if you lose your body like you did in that fire when the building fell on you and the rebar stabbed you right through the heart? He challenges you. I have a workaround for losing my body. It's fine, you assure your panicky friend. What? No, it requires a divine mandate to... He's the son of God. That counts, doesn't it? Aridin says slowly. You grin and shush him. No need to know your little get-out-of-jail-free clause. Car, if they find you're doing this, will you just listen to reason? Aridin pleads. Normally I would, but this is way too important, you tell him with a sigh. You're a complete disaster, he mumbles. No, Earth is a disaster, and I'm trying to fix it. Just cover for me. It'll be okay. See you later. He grins and slips through the weak spot in the barrier. Or you grin and slip it through the weak spot in the barrier. Once you're on the other side and out of the way, you spend a lot of time... Once you're on the other side and out of the way of a lot of the surveillance, you wave to Signless and dip down through the barrier between this plane of reality and Earth. You know where you're going. You fly there as invisible as the air around you. When you land, you take a look at the slip of paper, checking the name of the bar and the name of the one in front of you. There's no car here, and there's also no batshit demon leaping to stab you. Suspicious. With little other choice, you push the door open and peer inside. At first glance, the bar appears to be empty, but after a second you spot the demon slumped over it. As you step into the room, he jolts upright, staring at you. He makes a noise of alarm and points at you. Ah, it's you, he slurs and then falls right off his bar stool. What? Are you okay? You ask him warily as you come further inside the bar. He watches the demon pushes himself up on all fours and looks up at you, his 4 eyes blinking a little out of sync. No, wait, just stay there so I can stab you, he mumbles. That's certainly a tempting offer. You are wildly drunk, aren't you? You ask, not that it needs asking. He's clearly uncoordinated as can be, and the top of the bar is littered with empty bottles and tipped over glasses. Shut, the demon says. Not that I'm glad for the opportunity to not be stabbed for once, but I can't help but wondering why you're not just magically sobering up so you can attack me unprovoked. Again, you say. You can do that, this demon says, his hand still halfway in his chest. You get to watch him realize that he said that out loud and panic slightly. I mean, I can do that. I just don't have to. I can take you on like this, he brags, and then pulls a black jacket out of his chest. It is very notably not a sword to stab you with, and he looks very confused about that. Right. Okay, this is not how I thought this was going to go. Up you get. You sigh and pick the demon off the floor. He squirms in your arms and manages to bite your wrist as you try to manhandle him into an empty booth. Where is everyone everywhere? Anyway, bars usually have people in them, you ask, rubbing your wrist and willing the bite mark away. There, the demon says hazily and waves a hand at the back. Turning your head and focusing, you can feel several souls back that way. So he scared them back there. No wonder, because right now he's not passing for human at all. I don't know who's going to fix that mess, your side or mine, but that's officially not my problem, you sigh. Aren't you an angel? Aren't you meant to be all... The demon makes some kind of mocking simpering noise that you think is meant to suggest your lack of backbone and doormat personality. You can only assume that's what he thinks angels are like. You don't know a lot of angels, do you? You ask. For reasons you absolutely do not understand, this is for some reason incredibly funny to the demon. He slumps over the table in hysterical laughter. Does this mean he does know angels and finds you not knowing that funny? Or he thinks that the idea that he would know angels to be funny? You decide to let it go and sit on the opposite side of the booth to him. I'd just like to point out that I could be trying to kill you right now. I'm not, because that's not something I wanted to do at all. So even though I completely get why you've been defensive before and preemptively attacking me, but now that you can see that I'm not trying to kill you, we can maybe talk next time, you tell him. Next time? The Solok suddenly isn't laughing and sat up sharply. Well, yeah, you're completely shit-faced right now. It's not exactly fair for me to ask you questions now, is it? You snort. Who even knows if you get coherent answers anyway? But I'm drunk and alone, you point out, or he points out. Yeah, that was my point, you say slowly. Actually, on that subject, you have another look around the bar. Not only can you not see his other half around here, you can't see any sign of there being anyone but this demon and the quick exit of several terrified humans. Excuse me. Where is your better half anyway? You ask curiously. The demon's eyes suddenly fill with moisture, and the breath he draws in is shaky. Gone, he answers. Gone? Like dead? You yelp. That can't be good. Who would kill or... Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad. No, not just gone without me. I'm not a god, so I'm just... The demon seems to choke up on his words and then holds a hand out. A bottle of vodka flies across the room, entirely misses his hand and hits the wall. On the second attempt, the demon manages to catch a half-full tequila bottle and bites the top off. You're drunk because you're sad. Oh, you say as the realization dawns on you. Fuck off, I'm not sad, he snarls and then sniffs. It's not at all convincing. He takes a swig from the tequila and your heart hurts for him. Hey, no, it's okay. Are you not used to being on your own? I mean, I always see you two together before, you stab me with something. Are you actually never apart? You ask, and scoot around the booth so you can warily pat him on the shoulder. Sure, we're apart when I'm being tortured or the other side around, but this choosing to leave, and it's not like I can't fly. I can fly, stupid fucking windy thing. I can, but no, the demon sobs. Warily, you reach out and rub his back. To your surprise, he doesn't try to bite you again, but he does stiffen up up a little under your touch, like he's expecting you to try to hurt him. Listen, I've been around a while, and I know that alcohol can make your emotional state even more unstable, even though it seems like it's helping at the time. So you don't have to worry about me thinking you're any less scary or murdery after this, okay? You tell him gently. If you're going for pity, I'm going to stab myself, then you, then me again. He drunkenly hisses out, turning his head slightly to glare at you. Whoa, nope, that wasn't what I was going for, and I wouldn't hit on someone who was drunk even if I was feeling that. Besides, I don't actually even know your name. I've never got past telling you mine and begging you not to stab me this time before you, stab me, you point out. Yeah, the demon grins. I'm glad stabbing me is such a fond memory for you. You grumble and lean back in your seat. If you weren't feeling so bad for how clearly emotionally hurt and vulnerable he is, you'd be tempted to actually, well, no. You're not supposed to be vengeful or get people back for things they've done. This is probably one of the many reasons you're a shitty angel, isn't it? This shouldn't even occur to you. It's Solux, he says softly. Oh, well, hi. It feels stupid saying hi, given that we've been talking for a while already and met a bunch of times before, but hi, you say awkwardly. Hi. Also, obviously my maker's gone, so you should probably go. You didn't come here to talk to me, he mumbles and gestures to the empty bar. Something tells me you probably shouldn't be left alone right now, so I'll stay. I've already gone through all the trouble of sneaking out. I may as well stick around. You shrug. Solux lowers the bottle from the table and frowns at it. Sneaking out? He repeats. Someday you will develop a filter between the things you think and the things you say, one that'll work all the time. Today is not that day. Who are you sneaking from? Solux asks, squinting all his eyes at you. It doesn't matter. You answer about as suspiciously as possible. You're an angel. You work for heaven, so who are you sneaking around? He asks again. I am an angel. I serve the good of humanity and the greater good, and make the earth a great place for mortals, or the great place for mortals that it's meant to be. You answer him cagily. That doesn't sound like how angels are supposed to be. You sound like Matuna. Solux snorts. Great, thanks. Just compare me to a fallen angel. Wait, you know Matuna? You gasp as the words finally hit you. Solux snorts and gestures to his whole body. Made to look like him, duh, of course I know him. Solux scoffs. Well, I never met the guy. He fell before I was even made, and I've only seen memories of him as an angel. Is he okay? You ask eagerly. Silas is going to want to know about this. It might take you a while to find a moment to sneak off to tell him without violating your order to not go and see him, but you have to pass this on. He's in hell, stupid. Solux snorts. Yeah, but he fell. He's a demon now. Hell is fine for demons, right? You ask. Solux laughs loud, and the sound it makes is bitter. Oh, so fun. My maker, Prince of fucking hell, once split my head in half and, levered it apart with Solux seems to fumble for the word. Like a crowbar? You ask in horror. Yeah, one of them, conscious the whole time. Doesn't really do that anymore, though. Move past it. Pain is basic. Fucking with your mind is way worse. But Matuna he's exiled, locked off on his own, got eternity to think about how he fucked up. Sometimes we can sneak off to see him. It could be a lot worse for him, I guess. Solux's voice goes soft near the end of that. He goes to take another swig from his nearly empty bottle of tequila, but you catch his wrist. Listen, you're going to feel really terrible when this wears off, so how about you stop drinking now? We'll get you somewhere else, and you can sleep this off. We can talk next time I find you. I think my friend actually booked me a room for you. I thought the second address sounded like a hotel or something. I thought I just might lose track of you and you'd run off. And come on, you urge him. Solux stares at you and then hurriedly downs the rest of the tequila before you can stop him. Hey, no! You yelp, but the bottle is gone now. With a sigh, you push him out of the booth with your foot, making him fall on the floor with a thump. You're a disaster. I'm taking you away to sleep this off. You inform him. You're not asking anymore. No? Shut up. Solux slurs. Great, you're even more drunk now. You groan and shuffle sidelong out of the booth. Solux corrects you, incorrectly. You lean down and pick him up, throwing him over your shoulder. Solux makes a noise that equal parts is alarm and indignation. You are really light. Alright, we're going to go outside, hide from view of the humans, and I'm going to fly us to where we need to go. I don't trust you to fly or teleport in this state, so I'm doing all the work. Got it? You say as you walk to the door. Solux stays silent, so you guess that he's sulking. Whatever, you can deal with that. You carefully peek outside the bar. There's not many people about. You focus hard and manage to make yourself invisible. Unfortunately, you can't do the same for your demon friend here, but you can put a very strong field of "don't look here" that ought to do in a pinch. With that done, you scurry out of the bar and around the back where the dumpster for the glass recycling is, as well as the general dumpster for the trash. It doesn't smell great, but you're at least out of the way. There's no way to carry Solux like this and fly, so you set him down on his feet. He sways, but when you're sure he's going to stay up, you let go of his legs and waist and straighten back up. Where did you get that? You yell and immediately slap your hand over your mouth. Solux has a huge bottle of vodka in his hand that's almost completely empty, and now you have your suspicions as to why he was so quiet earlier. He wasn't sulking, he was drinking. Solix points and laughs at your volume mishap, so you snatch the vodka from his hand and toss it into the recycling. The shit-faced demon makes a noise of protest, but you're not hearing anymore. You grab him close, shake your wings out, taking to the sky before he can do anything else dumb. Solix makes vague protests about how he wants to go back to the bar, and he's not really that drunk. It's massively unconvincing and entirely ignored. You also ignore his attempts to distract or possibly annoy you by grabbing your ass and pretending to flirt with you. That will also not distract you. You do move his hand, though. You were right. The address you have on your second slip of paper is for a hotel. Meddling with the minds of mortals is not something you like doing all that much, but you legitimately can't explain this away, so you convince the lady at the desk that you're alone, despite the demon in your arms. She hands you the room key with a glazed expression, and with a snap of your fingers, you break the CCTV. The elevator ride to the room is fine, despite Solix elbowing you in the ear in his attempts to get away. It's tricky to open the door with the key card and not put Solix down, but you manage it eventually and step inside. Stay here, you order Solix as you drop him on the double bed. He groans and holds his head between his hands. You open the minibar and pull out a bottle of water, and as a precaution you reverse the miracle Steinless taught you once and turn all the wine in there into water. The tiny bottles of spirit you just pocket. There's some overpriced crackers in there too, so you snag those as well. It's a fun alcohol lesson. You're feeling pretty good right now, aren't you? You ask and make your way over to the bed. Now you're not throwing me around, yeah, he complains and scrunches his eyes tight. He opens them again and looks at you for a moment before smiling slowly. What? You ask warily. I could feel better, he says in a tone that just tells you just what he means. I'm ignoring that. You're very drunk. Listen, people from our planes metabolize alcohol very fast. That's why your sobriety kept fading unless you drank enough to kill a human regularly. You're going to start sobering up soon, and you're going to discover what a hangover is, you explain. What's that? Solix asks with a frown. Okay, yeah, take these. I'm going to get you something in case you throw up, you say with a sigh and hand Solix the water and crackers. Or you could come over here. It's not flush or anything. I have a girlfriend, you know. She's my maidsprit. Solix shouts after you as you go into the bathroom. My condolences to her, you mutter. You snag the small bin in the bathroom and return to Solix, dropping it at the side of the bed by him. It could be fun. You're hot, despite the whole angel thing, Solix adds. I have no idea how you got a girlfriend, you say and walk off. You stick the do not disturb sign on the door and close it again. Hey, fuck you, Solix shouts after you. Also no. Do they not have alcohol in hell or something? We don't have it in heaven, but we're taught how to drink it on earth in case we need to blend in. Does the fire burn it off or something down there? You ask him and sit down on the armchair at a safe distance from him. Of course we have it. The fuck? It's hell. Solix scoffs and tries to open the crackers with his teeth. But you've never been drunk before? What'd they do down there? Card you or something? You laugh. Solix flips you off and spits the wrapper to the crackers out of his mouth. No, just didn't want to. Makes you all weak and shit. Might as well ask to be stabbed. He sneers at you. Made him too vulnerable, so he's upset and alone right now that he threw that caution to the wind for a chance to forget his sadness. No, now your heart just hurts for him again. Speaking of stabbing, Solix starts slowly. If this is leading to an innuendo, the answer is still no. You cut him off, and from the pout, you're pretty sure it was. You lean back in your chair and cross your legs at the ankle. You hope you're making it pretty plain that you're staying put, but you're not going to give in to his requests. Why are you here? Solix asks and flops onto his side on the bed, the crackers forgotten. At the hotel? You ask. No, stalking us, he says sharply. I object to the word stalking. I've been tracking the two of you down for a chance to talk to you, you explain. I keep stabbing you. Why do you think we want to talk? Solix asks skeptically. Because I hope that if I can just talk to both of you, then maybe I can make things better. I just want to help, you tell him. So talk, he shrugs. You're drunk. I want to ask questions as well as talk, and it's not fair for me to do that when you're not operating properly. I'd rather deal with you when you're all there, even if it means that you try to stab me again. I have a little more respect for you than treating you like something to get information from when it suits me, you know? You're a person, even if you're deeply frustrating, you tell him. Solix is on his side, his face smushed into the pillow so much that you can only see two of his eyes. He blinks slowly at you, his body probably processing the alcohol and putting him to sleep to speed the process up. You would make it in hell, he tells you quietly. I'm used to not making it, you say before you think better of it. You bad angel? He asks sleepily. That's what I'm told, you admit unhappily. Good. Solix murmurs. You watch the moment he drifts off to sleep and stay put to guard him. You don't know how long it'll be until his maker tracks him down or summons him, but you're not willing to leave him alone if you can help it. With that said, you're also aware that your own maker may drag you away at any moment. You use your time to set up an alarm in the room, so if anyone comes in, it'll make a noise loud enough to wake Solix up. You also put locks on the doors and draw the curtain. You leave Solix a note explaining that you had to leave, but that you've put precautions in place for him. You also leave instructions to drink water and eat the crackers you got out for him, because the hangover won't be fun. Because it's wildly inconvenient for you, Kenkri does indeed call you back, and you're glad that you had the forethought to do all that work. Not that Kenkri needed you for anything actually important, just running messages, and then to lecture you on his latest thoughts on something or another. You pay literally zero attention. You're too busy hoping that the next time you find Solix, he might not stab you. You roll onto your back in your dark room and fumble for your phone. I just had a dream about you. You hear the displacement of air and the sudden weight on your bed. Did you now? Solix says, and you can hear the grin in his tone, even if it's too dark to see him. With a grunt of effort, you reach out and turn on your lamp, blinking in the light. I meant a dream memory thing. I wasn't trying to convince you to get in bed with me, you tell him. But you weren't not trying to, right? He asks teasingly. Yeah, sure. We were in a hotel together in my memory, you say, and Solix's grin gets wider and a little more salacious. You were very drunk. I dragged you there from a bar, you add. Solix's face freezes in a rictus of horror. No, that's not... You forget everything about us, and then you only get snippets of things back, and the thing you remember is that time I was a sobbing, pathetic mess in a bar, too new to drinking to know how to undo it all, and so you had to get me somewhere else safe. That's what you remember. Solix cries out in obvious despair and throws himself face down on the bed next to you. Well, partly on you because your bed isn't magically larger like he's made Dave's. It's the first time you also told me your name, though, wasn't it? I'm pretty happy I remember it, you tell him quietly. It's also the time I tried to stab you with a jacket. After you left, I threw up so hard that I immediately passed out again. Solix grumbles into the pillow. But you talk to me, you point out, and slide your hand up the back of his shirt and run your fingers down his spine until it splits into his tails. He shivers a little, and his tails wrap around your arm like an overly attached pair of snakes. And you grabbed my ass, you add. I wasn't a total disaster, I guess, Solix admits grudgingly. Did you stab me the next time we met? You ask him. Only a little, Solix sighs, and turns his head a little more to look at you instead of pressing his face into the pillow to hide his embarrassment. A little, you repeat. Your body is pretty hard to destroy, but getting you in the right place will do it. I know your place. Worked it out really early on, and I can hit it every time now. I've had enough practice. Solix says quietly. My heart, you say. You know it's true. It's what Kenkri gave you. Part of you wonders what he was like before you did that. Although he must have been more like you, because all that makes you who you are was in him then. Yeah, just one stab, the right angle there, and Solix tells you, and his fingertips brush your chest right over your heart. But next time I wanted to hear what you had to say, so I only stabbed you a little elsewhere, just so you didn't think I was too friendly or anything. Solix says with a careless little shrug, as if he didn't consider what you think about him. It's complete bullshit, of course. He cares a lot. I'm pretty pleased you gave me a chance, you tell him quietly, and kiss the bridge of his nose. You shift on your side in the bed and look at him a little better, your head propped up on your hand. He looks tired and still kind of stressed despite his current humorous attitude. Where were you before, or what were you doing before this? You ask quietly. I was going to try to talk to people on my phone. I'm trying to solve a problem. Dave's sleeping, so... Solix yawns. Oh, and I yawn. Looks like you need sleep, you point out. Can't be asleep when he is. I could, but feels wrong if I'm here, he mumbles. We could both go up there, then I could watch over both of you and you could sleep. You look like you need sleep, you suggest. Wow, rude. Go fuck yourself, Solix says, but it's without much venom. More because he has to say something rude back instead of actually meaning it. You'd think he's too tired to be actually cutting. That's why I have you, but I want you to sleep with me more literally, not so euphemistically, you tell him. Solix kind of narrows his eyes at you a little, and this kind of feeling wells up in your chest, an exasperated fondness, a consuming sort of feeling. I'm in love with you, aren't I? You whisper in awe. Huh? Solix says slowly and gives you a thoughtful look. Not the ideal response there, man. You tell him a little sharply, and he flashes you a mean little smile that you kind of want to bite. You used to call it that before, said you hated me and loved me. I get why. I don't really do hate like most demons do. Pain and torture are too close to home for me for anything that flirts with that, and so it's a no. But I do hate you. It is hate. It's just hate with a lot of lame boundaries that I shouldn't have, and Solix starts to rant, so you cut him off. Shut your face. You don't have to do things that make you feel like shit, and I don't want to do that to you. I don't think I'd be good at the quote-unquote real hate thing anyway, you say over whatever dumb thing he was going to get, or he was getting to. So it's hate, but it's not, and it's love, but it's not. It's whatever, both, neither. Solix shrugs. You consider that for a moment and look him over, the sharp angles that make him up and everything about him that gets your heart fluttering. I'm sorry I lost my memories, that you have to wait for me to realize all this again. You apologize. It sucked at first, but when we worked it all out between the three of us, it's been good. It's just new time with you. It's kind of shitty that you don't remember some things, but you are getting some memories back. It's kind of cool or whatever, watching someone fall for you, or again. Solix trails off so quietly at that last part that you don't really catch it all, but you get the gist. I should have guessed you'd like someone falling for you twice, huh? You tease him, and Solix responds very maturely by trying to bite you. I love him so much. I'm sorry. I love him so much. You wrap your arms around him and then reach up with your hands so you can hook your fingers around his longer set of arms to stop him biting you. It does not stop him trying, though. Sorry, as much as I enjoy you trying to bite out my jugular, you fucking feral man, how about we go up to your dorm and you and Dave can both sleep and I can keep watch for whatever. Then you can try to bite me later. Oh, that is a... Nope. Nope, no links. No links. Where was I? Fine, I will. Wait, where was I? Fuck. As much as I enjoy you trying to bite out my jugular, you fucking feral man, how about we go to your dorm and you and Dave can both sleep and I can keep watch for whatever. Then you can try to bite me later at your own convenience when you're arrested, you suggest. Fine, I will. And you won't even see it coming. Solix threatens you, his words coming out in a little hiss. There's a pop, and you're aware that you're somewhere else. You feel another figure flail in the darkness, and Solix takes his hands off of you to reach over that way. Just me and Carcat too. Go back to sleep, Solix whispers to Dave. Wait, what? Dave mumbles, but Solix just shushes him, and Dave settles back down to sleep easily. He's probably not really awake right now either. You're on the edge of the bed, but not so much that you're in danger of falling onto the floor. Solix is in the middle, and Dave is snuggled between Solix's back and the wall. It's less seeing who's the little spoon here, and more admitting that this whole situation is more of an entire cutlery set. Predictably, Solix is out like a light. He was obviously real tired, and if you staying awake means he gets a good night rest, then you're happy to do it. It does give you a lot of time with your own thoughts, though. Even if you don't remember the details, you get the feeling that Aridin was really your friend before, probably your only friend up there, and more than likely that went both ways. It wasn't as if his maker was a stellar person, and the whole culture there seems less than ideal. After the event, you went missing on the guy for years. No matter how weird things went between the two of you, it sucks that he was alone for that time. That he had to deal with his shitheel maker, who was most likely taking the disappearance of his Moira badly too. He didn't deserve to die in the way he did. Fuck, but then you and he both deserve better than to have to live around your makers. It's pretty clear that you need to give up the idea of fairness even being a thing. If you want things to be fair, then you obviously have to go out and make it happen. Like right now, Solix needed to sleep because he's tired from trying to fix things, and that's unfair that he couldn't sleep. You changed things and now he can sleep. You can't bring Aridin back, but maybe you can try to live a good life and not get killed. He'd probably have been in favor of that at least, right? And what about Signless? Is he still up there? He's the son of God, which makes him at least a demigod, if not God himself. Actually, you're pretty sure he was all God and all human at the same time. Wasn't that the whole point? So you really hope he's not in deity prison right now, not after spending thousands of years in a prison in heaven. If he is free now, you wonder if he's watching you. Would he be happy for you? Maybe proud of you? You're pretty sure that he was the only positive role model in your life, so it'd be nice if he approved of you. And Kanaya, your friend, is afflicted by this weird delusion that you have that you have a roommate, and that no one but her remembers, and you can't help but feel awful for her. Obviously, she's trained more than you when it comes to dangerous books, so if something's gotten to her head to do this to her, then she can handle it, but you wish there was some way you could help her somehow. Actually, she doesn't sleep right. Maybe you can message her. You have to type one-handed because Solix is sleeping on your other arm, but it's okay. Hi, Kanaya. How are you doing? I'm sorry about the huge mess the other day, but I wanted to see how you were. I'm guessing that some book got into your head? Oh, hello, Carcat. That isn't what happened, but I am fine now, and I expect that I should be back in the morning, in fact. Oh, that's great. Actually, would we be able to meet in the morning? Tomorrow morning? Sure. At your dorm. Say 10? Yeah, I can do that. Excellent. Perhaps invite Dave as well. Okay. Kind of an odd request. You will see. Ominous. Indeed, but I must go now. I shall see you then. Alright, see you then. I'll check in with Dave in the morning if he's doing anything. He's probably not, but, I should ask. He's currently too asleep for me to ask him. Carcat, are you in bed with Dave right now? Oh no, suddenly I'm losing signal. Solix makes a sleepy noise in his throat as you lower your phone, and he settles back into sleep. You're very careful to stay awake, but you let your mind drift all the same. You wonder if you don't technically need sleep, if you don't need food either. You can only assume that you didn't when you got locked away by Kangri, but maybe in heaven your body is less real than it is on Earth. You feel like a trash fire when you go without sleep too long normally, but is that just because that's what you know happens to humans, and your body is trying to act human? All the same, your mind drifts as you stay awake, and you're aware of the shifting pattern of dawn and light on the ceiling as the sun slowly rises, sluggish as it traverses the winter sky. You wonder if you have this kind of patience, the ability to zone out because you've done it before. You watch as a shaft of light moves over Solix's horns, over his hair and down his forehead. When it slides over his closed, smaller set of eyes, you get to see it as he slowly wakes up. His eyes crinkle and he sleepily opens them, enough to squint at you against the dim light. What's the time? He yawns and rubs his face against your arm. You think he's probably trying to get sleep gunk out of his eyes or something gross, knowing him. 8:30, you tell him, checking your phone. Ugh, I should go, Solix says, but promptly doesn't move. Like every time you tell yourself you're going to get up and get ready in the morning. Kanaya wants to see me and Dave at 10. Do you want to come with? You ask. And have her rant about someone she imagined again? Nah, I have actually important shit to do, Solix tells you. He pushes himself up on his hands and knees, ducking under Dave's arms, and slides off of him. Dave makes a quiet but devastated noise and lifts his head to look at Solix with an expression of confused devastation. You can still see the lines from fabric of the pillowcase on his cheek. It's okay, I just have to go. Go back to sleep, Carcat's here. Solix tells him softly and leans in so their foreheads bump. Dave reaches up and clumsily pets Solix's hair for a moment, making Solix's tails flicker happily. They stay that way for a few seconds, and then Solix pulls away and vanishes in a puff of colored smoke and a haze of apple. Hey, you say softly to Dave. He's still clearly not that awake because Dave turns his head to look at you, and after a moment of slow thinking he reaches out, curls his arms around you, and pulls you bodily over to him. He buries his face in your shirt at the shoulder and immediately drops back into sleep. You let him doze, at least until 9:30, because you do need the both of you to be up to see Kanaya. Do you think she's fixed whatever messed with her head? Dave asks just before 10 as the two of you head down the stairs to your dorm. I hope so. It's scary to think how your mind can just be altered like that, you say with a shudder. Ugh, yeah, Dave says with a grimace. A lot of things scare you as a person, but given that you're someone who lost all your memories in the event and is only just getting some of them back now, you're well aware of how what you know can be who you are. Finally getting answers and understanding more about yourself has helped you feel whole again. The idea that something magical can screw with that without you knowing is horrifying. Kanaya was convinced that you had a roommate, and nothing you said would sway her from that. You didn't know there was a problem, or she didn't know there was a problem. That's scary. The two of you come out onto your floor and spot Kanaya waiting alone outside your door. Hey, Kan, you haven't been waiting for long, have you? I thought we were pretty much on time, you say as you walk closer. Oh no, I was just early, Kanaya tells you. Behind you, Dave stumbles and catches himself, his hand clenching in the back of your shirt to stop him falling. You turn and look around as he straightens up and lets you go. Did you just trip over your own feet? You ask him incredulously. No, that'd be lame. I was just feeling up the back of your shirt. Dave lies, badly. You cast a glance at Kanaya, who just raises one eyebrow in silent judgment and disbelief. You open your door and let the three of you inside. Kanaya politely invites Dave in before her. You wonder if it's just so that she can watch if he trips up again. Croquette, do you still have that box with you? The one you buried in winter? Or the one you found buried in winter? Kanaya asks you. Yeah, sure I do. Why? You ask, slipping your keys back into your keyring. Can I see it again, please? And could you take everything else out of it? She asks. You and Dave look at each other dubiously. Kanaya doesn't seem any less weird than last time, but you'll go along with this for now. You remove the box from your bag and walk around the sofa to put it on the coffee table. The box goes in the middle of the table, and then you just need to lever the top open with a fingernail, which incidentally, if you find out who had the bright idea to not give this thing a handle, you're going to kick them. You take the belt out and set it on the table next to the now totally empty box and gesture for Kanaya to do whatever it is she wanted this for. Just put it inside and close the lid, Kanaya says. But you told me to open the box and take the belt out, you frown. No, not you, Carcat, Kanaya says with a shake of her head. What? It's just you, Dave, and her. Who else could she mean? Kanaya, I don't. You try. Close it. It shuts the spell off, Kanaya says over you. What? You ask again. So I guess you didn't see someone about whatever is going on, Dave guesses. At your side, the box snaps shut all by itself. You turn around and... Rose! Rose is knelt there. Your friend, your roommate, you forgot her. Rose, you yelp. Holy shit, I forgot you? Dave gasps. You can see me again. Oh, Rose exclaims in obvious relief. She leaps to her feet and drags you in for a hug. I forgot about you. I left you in another country, you say in utter horror. Fuck that. She's my twin and I straight up lost that from my brain. What the fuck? Dave demands and grabs Rose in for a hug the moment she's out of your arms. It's the blanket in there. Sit down. I'll explain everything. Kanaya urges you. You and Rose sit on the sofa with Dave sitting on the arm of it at Rose's side. Kanaya takes the armchair and pulls the box into her lap. She opens it once more, making Rose wince and look around as if to check that you and Dave can still see her. You give her hand a reassuring squeeze. Kanaya pulls the blanket out. It's purple and black and stitched very finely with tiny intricate little patterns in it. The blanket isn't especially big. You couldn't sleep under it. It's about as wide as a pillowcase, and since it's a square, it's just as long too. I have been around for a very long time, and not all of history has been great. Magic and witches have also existed forever, and practices were secret and driven by necessity a lot of the time. This blanket is a special type of blanket. It's for a baby. You wrap a newborn in it, and they become hidden. Mostly, this is a variety of a don't look at here type spell. If soldiers are coming around killing all babies in a given group, this gives your child a good chance of surviving. If you're fleeing somewhere and your baby is too young to understand the need for quiet, this means it can cry and make noise without giving your position away. This is an object made for a dangerous situation. I have made too many to count over my life, Kanaya explains grimly. Your head hurts at the idea, but more so that you know she's right, that there has been a need for such a thing, and even now there probably still is somewhere. This blanket, however, is more powerful than any other that's been made. It erases you from all existence. Photographs or other physical proof of you will either appear altered to other people, or they'll explain them away. Even once you've taken the blanket off, until it's been put away, the spell works, and you can stand in front of someone and kick their leg out from under them and they won't see you. Hypothetically speaking. Kanaya shoots a look at Rose at that last part. You tripped me? Dave asks, looking at his sister. I wanted to see if you could see me, Rose tells him defensively. That's seriously powerful magic. How does that even work? You ask. Because it's very specific. This blanket only works on Rose. That's why I can hold it. It is specific to only her. Her blood is woven into the fabric, as is that of the only two people who can see her when the spell is working. Her mother and the person who made this blanket. Me, Kanaya says. You made this? Dave asks in surprise. I have no memory of doing so, I assure you, but I know my own craft, and based on the power imbued in this blanket, I can only assume I made this collaboratively with your mother. It's also the only reason I would be exempt from the spell. The blanket is tied to the box breaks the spell. It only works in certain circumstances, and only one person makes this very fine-tuned spell, but an exceedingly powerful one at that. Moreover, it's especially targeted to be effective on deities and those who come from their planes, so an angel would have no chance of resisting it, Kanai explains. I still left you in another country. I stranded you there, you say guiltily, looking over at Rose. It really wasn't your fault, Rose assures you. Okay, I have no idea why Mom would have you make that. We weren't in any danger, but whatever, she's a paranoid person. It's not her fault. My question is, why did Rose hide that box in winter, and where's mine? Dave asks. There was no other blanket in there, and my note to Kanaya made no mention of any second blanket. I clearly meant for her, or for me to find this now, but this raises all sorts of questions about time and... Rose starts. No, that doesn't make any sense. If Mom made some magic-ass blanket to hide you from everyone, then I buy that. That's a thing Mom would do. Can't let people at the hospital know that you exist. Insert paranoia here. Fine. But if there's only one, then Mom was hiding you because she was convinced you'd die or something, but thinking, fuck this one, I have another. Dave insists and gets to his feet, gesturing wildly as he talks. I'm sorry that I just disappeared from existence for almost a week without knowing why, and I didn't put more time into thinking about how this related to you. Rose says sharply. All right, hey, we don't know what your mom was thinking. Maybe she was convinced that someone was coming to steal her daughter, and if they saw she only had a son, then they'd leave. But if they saw she had no babies, they'd look harder. You said it yourself, your mom can have irrational patterns of thought. We don't know what it was, but there's no way she didn't give a shit about you, you assure him. I tried to get Kanaya to call Mom for me. I asked about the blanket, but she just started panicking, and I couldn't get any sense out of her. Rose says, I need to ask Solix about this. Dave mutters, and then all at once Solix appears. He even looks surprised about it. You get to watch him look at Rose and suddenly realize that she is real and he'd forgotten her too. He's horrified, of course, and listens intently as Dave briefly explains about the blanket. Did you know about this? Dave asks as Solix peers at the finally made blanket. No, it's incredible though. It makes sense for what happened. I mean, I know about blankets that do this as a thing, but I've never seen one. I've really not even seen one like this before. Damn, Roxy. Solix whistles. Would you be able to find one if you were looking for it? To see if I had one? Dave asks in a small voice. Solix's face takes a pained, oh no, sort of expression. Why are you so obsessed with there being one for you and where it is? Is that really what we should be talking about here? Rose demands. I wouldn't be able to find it. Sorry. A regular one of these, maybe, but this is designed to hide from my kind specifically. I'm an extraplanar person who serves a god. I'm lucky I can see this thing right now in front of my face. It could be in your mom's house, and I wouldn't know unless I could see it right in front of me, same as anyone else. Solix tells him. I need to go call Mom. Dave mumbles and leaves. Solix's tails droop as the door shuts and he sighs audibly. His sadness is impossible to miss. Why is he so sure that if there's only one, it's for a bad reason, you ask? Dave isn't typically someone to leap to the worst-case scenario as his first option. This isn't irrational, but it's a really weird starting point. I have to go, Solix sighs, and then just like that, he's gone. That was a little strange, Kanaya observes, and Rose shakes her head. Wait, if you didn't remember making this, then how did you know what had happened? You ask Kanaya. The paper I took from the belt you showed me had a letter from Rose explaining where she would be and once I found her and saw the blanket, I could work the rest out. Don't ask how I smuggled her back in the country when no one could see she existed, Kanaya says, incredibly shifty all of a sudden. Yeah, there's maybe some questions you shouldn't ask, lest you become complicit in some kind of crime. The real question is how I, as an adult, buried that box with this in, knowing that I would dig it up when I did. This was absolutely something that happened in the past, so how does that make sense? Rose asks. It's a good question. Just what the fuck is going on here? Chapter end. Oh, what a chapter. Rose is back. Rose is back. Oh my goodness. End of chapter 29? It is. Yes. Is chapter 30 next? It is chapter 30 next. My goodness. 2/3 of the way through. Well, almost. Tomorrow will be 2/3. There were a lot of good scenes in this one. Oh my goodness. We also got like just a shit ton of information. Oh my god. Solux and Cardcat. The drunk Solux. Oh, baby. Baby. Oh my god, we're setting up so many mysteries. We're setting up so much. There's so much going on. There was so much going on. Monday will be 2/3, yes. Today's Thursday, my bad. Oh, Soul Cat. The Soul Cat. The Soul Cat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah, doodle then? Haha, perhaps them under the blanket. Ooh, I can do that. Alright. Let me pop open Photoshop. Also, you didn't need to redeem the points again, Crenshaw, but I appreciate it. Maybe I'll do 2 just for fun. Oh, my screen went. There we go. There's so much going on. There is so much going on, right? My goodness. We have so much. Speaking of redeeming points. Oh. 2 like the Solix number? Yeah. Aw, thank you, Ellipti. I was literally just reaching for my water bottle. Thank you. I do get no choice, that's very true. Alright, let's, that's gonna be the screen. There we go. Bada bing. Bada boom. Let's just do 1920 by 180. Okay. Let's draw a little rose. Let's draw all of them. Let's draw a little fun. And you remember what Kanaya looks like. Kanaya Miriam. Oh, it's so weird not drawing the trolls with their horns. I always have to remember that with whenever I draw like a car cat or anything. With Kanaya too now. There they are. There's the Dave. All right, Crenshaw, does this fulfill your request? Little doodle, I love them. Oh, it is 10:43. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna probably head up. Yeah, yay, I'm glad. All right. Well, I think with that, I'm going to head off. I started the stream. Also, what does suggest a song mean? I used to, when I would do art streams, I would people could request a song while I was drawing, but we can't really do that right now, or we don't do it during whatchamacallit, reading streams, because you're not gonna be able to listen to the song. You know, my meme abilities for AU will skyrocket not that much when we have AU designs for Rose and Kanaya. I would love to redo my lineup for Alternate Universe and like do every character, or do like even just like the important people. So like do June, Jade, Rose, Kanaya as well. Maybe a few others. I'd love to do it at some point. I just have so much. Oh my goodness, I get so busy with stuff. I'm thinking of drawing some lineups for what characters look like in my brain in AU, but it's a matter of having time. Yeah, that's the thing. It's always time. It's always time. I still absolutely love my fucking AU designs for Carcat, Solux, and Dave. Oh my god. I wanna load. Let me find them. Is it in here somewhere? I've showed these on stream before, but I always like to bring them up. Yeah. Where is it? Babies. Babies. I love them. I love them so much. I love them so much. My little beloveds. I just picture your art and I'm like, no, talk about this. Clarket's eyes are probably red. I imagine his eyes as like, I really like brown eyes, so I gave him like kind of bright brown eyes, but they kind of lean into a little red. I think brown eyes are so pretty. But yeah, look at them. Oh my god. They're so fucking great. I love them so much. I don't usually draw, like, I have like three ways that I draw Dave. And I almost never make Dave. I pretty much never. Whenever I design Dave, he's never a white man in my mind. A lot of people make Dave white. He's not white to me. And in AU, it's specific that he, because Rose is black. And you know, he comes from like a black family, and he just has what do you call? What's the term? Albinism. And so you know, but it's always still like, okay. I have to think about it in my head whenever I design him that way. Because I usually draw, my Dave design is usually let me find it. What's the Dave design I really like? I have it. And, oh my god, my thing doesn't want to load. Load my old pieces. I have so many pieces, it doesn't want to load them. There you are. This is from an old doodle. Not an old doodle, but this is when I did a series of doodles. This is like my favorite way to design Dave, to like color him. I love this, like the hairstyle or whatever. But this is my favorite Dave. I love him. I love this little doodle. I love this doodle page. Dirk is very white guy. I mean, that is fair. That is fair. That is actually fair. I do get that. Bright brown eyes are so pretty, so true. Yeah. But yeah, this is my favorite Dave. I love this Dave so much. And I love them. Oh, I love this doodle. Oh, I love this song. Oh, he has a little hand. Sorry, you know, sometimes you look at old pieces and you're like, oh my goodness, I was so based when I did that. I was so based when I drew that. Oh, I'm so based. I'm so based. I think that Jade should give everybody kisses. I think Jade. I love Jade. I love everybody. I love them all. I love Carcat. I think Carcat should give everybody smooch. I think everybody should all give little smooches. And they're so pretty. They're so cute. Okay, I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna dip. Yep, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Next stream will not be tomorrow, because tomorrow is a Friday and we don't do weekends. Next stream will be Monday, and we will be doing chapter 30, which is 2/3 of the way through. Once we do chapter 30, we would be officially 2/3 of the way. Ooh, and it's a short one on a. Oh, I know what chapter this is. Oh, I know what chapter this is. Oh, Monday's gonna be a fun one. Oh, Monday's gonna be a fun one. Oh boy, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Oh my god, if you know, you know. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, here we go. I'm scared it's never good when you recognize the chapter by name. I recognize the chapter based on something else, but I'm not gonna say anything because it kind of implies spoilers. I can't say the whole time Monday. In theory, Monday will just be a shorter stream because I can get through 10k words probably in an hour, maybe shorter. Kind of depends how quickly we start. But yeah, 10k isn't that many, or 11k I guess technically. I'm not gonna go too far ahead because I don't want to accidentally show anything. Is the reason why my previous thing got checked by auto mod? I don't know. It got permitted for some reason. The term that it blocked was 2/3 way. I don't know why it would have blocked that. And also, auto mod blocks the weirdest shit. I kind of wish I knew how to turn it off, but I don't really know. So I don't know. But I have no idea why it blocked that. So I permitted it. You're fine. Oh, is it that chapter? I think, yeah, duality. I think it's that one. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. Okay, I just confused for a second. Yeah, auto mod's weird sometimes. But yeah, all right. That's it. Monday, be back here at 9 p.m. EST as usual. You're gonna make me skim the chapter to figure out what chapter it is. Yeah, I am. You can go skim it. All right. I will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of your night, as always. Yeah, I will see you guys then. Good night, good night, good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.